Hello, good evening. Welcome to another Word of Wisdom with me, Theresa White, where we do Words of Wisdom on Wednesdays. It has been a few Wednesdays that I have only done this by words only, no video, but I'm back with video now. So, this is where we just spend a couple of minutes and literally just that, a couple of minutes to share wisdom from my therapy experiences, whether that's coming from someone that I'm working with or something that struck me as an aha moment. So, this comes from kind of twofold. It comes from an experience with a client or a person that I'm working with, as well as my own personal time with the Lord. So, as a woman of God, of course, um, I will say, of course, but I do spend personal time with the Lord in prayer. And sometimes, He gives me these nice wisdom one liners, but it matched with a previous person that I had worked with and something that it came up in the session that I worked with them. So, as somebody that, has carrying people in their life, typically for those you care about, you want, you know, them to do better, right? You ever heard that statement, when you know better, you do better, which is not always true, but you get the premise of it. This is going to be talking about doing better. So your word of wisdom for this wonderful Wednesday is going to be, is more of a question. I'll tell you the part of what was stated to me in my time. So the statement that came to me, and I believe it was for me, but I'm going to share it. I think it's helpful for everybody that the Lord spoke to me and said, I have great things in store for you, but I will allow you to settle for just okay. And that hit me like, oh man, like think about that for a moment. Someone has great plans for you, but they're not going to force you to go after the great plans. If you want to settle at poor, mediocre, halfway, they'll allow you to do that because they're not going to force you to go with what they have for you, right? Now you're like, well, no, please make me go for the great. No, realistically, that's not the case. So as you think about that one of the things that came up in the session, it was a question that I asked someone when they were talking about wanting to, they were struggling with, what kind of choice to make. And so the question is, I want you to ask yourself this. I wonder what it would look like if you pursued better for yourself, as the same way you pursue better for everybody else. You pursue better. You want everybody else to pursue better. What would it look like if you pursued better for you? And you didn't settle for just mediocre. You didn't settle for okay, but you went after the great that God has planned for you. What would that look like? Now, that's for you to answer, but that's your word of wisdom. I want you to think about, have you settled? And I say that because at times that's why it came to me because I had settled. I was like, oh, this is just so this okay. And it was like, I had better in store for you, but you settled for this. I wanted you to get, this particular style of house, or I wanted you to have, a 3 bedroom and you settled for a 1 bedroom. Okay. Right. So somebody comes with a checkbook and they say, okay, I'm going to buy you what you would like. In their mind, they're thinking, I want you to, really do well and get all these things that I have for you. But if you come out with just a couple of shirts and a pair of socks, that's what you wanted. Okay. I'm happy to get that too. Really happy, but I'll get to better. I'll for you about yourself some nice things that you can go out and really feel upgraded in, right? So that's your word of wisdom. Sometimes we have in our lives in relationships, at jobs, at work, at our purpose, at church, it may be, we have settled for okay when our Heavenly Father has great plans for us. And sometimes the okay life, it just is that. It looks okay, so you don't see any problems coming up. But what would it be like if you could have great? So I'm going to encourage you to ask yourself that question. What would it look like if you pursued better or pursued that great for you? Help you we're blessed and it's helped. Hope that you can share this with someone else. Please let me know. Say hello to me in the comments. And I hope to see you again on our next Word of Wisdom Wednesday. Have a great day.